Alright, everybody, so we got news to get into, another news segment. Today is the 3rd of January, 2024. So, first thing we got on the first of the year, brand new for Japan, New Year's Day for them, and they woke up with an earthquake, like a 7 point something or other, pretty bad, on your coastline, which a tsunami warning was pointed then, or alerted then, and I guess they've had some small of those over there. And there's some odd activity with birds, crows specifically, were like landing all over the roads and like they were lost or confused or something. A whole bunch of, seen some videos about it. So, that affected the birds. That quake was pretty big and everything else. And the crows were acting really strange. Look it up. And then, of course, yesterday they had a really bad plane crash on the runway and fire and everything real nasty like, and miraculously there weren't any major injuries from that plane, but that shows you how the Japanese their procedures for emergency are pretty good shape. People listen over there, they've been trained. So also yesterday, you didn't hear about that here on our news at all, of course. It was a train derailment in Australia. The last thing our news wants to do is bring up another train derailment, of course, and it was pretty nasty. About a few people were killed. Some of the crew of the train. It was a freight train of carrying containers, shipping containers, and it was really long and huge. But it was bad. Piled that sucker up. It was a really desolate area of Australia, though, fortunately, so there wasn't any real danger of affecting housing or any civilians, really. But yeah, it was pretty bad. Can't catch the reason why or anything like that, but it's pretty ugly. And I barely caught it on any kind of news here, so that's typical. They're not gonna say anything about any more trains at this point, I'm sure. Then Israel droned some Saleh al-Hari in Beirut, and he's one of the top guys in the Hamas, and they used a drone on him right in the middle of Beirut, which is in Lebanon, and kind of they're worried about bringing that. I guess Israel's not too concerned about Lebanon. There's not much Lebanon can do about it, and what are they gonna do? Cry? They killed a bunch of Allah snack bars over there. So besides the guy they were after, that's kind of what happens when you launch a drone missile into a crowd of people. But they say that they got the guy they were after, so that's one less, Allah snack bar over there to go down the drain. No real big loss in that department, like I say. And Lebanon, there's nothing they can do about it, really. They cry and piss and moan that, it's in their territory. But I'd say that Israel's at the point now where they're just wholesale taking out these people, because they ain't back down in Gaza at this point. They ain't back down anywhere else, and nobody's really going to tell them what they're going to do at this point. I don't think it's kind of, Biden don't have he can't stand up to the Israel, and he can't stand up to the opposite side either. He's already got himself into this now, so he's gonna have to stay where he's at. That's just the way it is. When you get yourself into the Middle East, there, you're taking a side whether you like it or not. That's just the way it is. Anyway, we know that's going on, and going to continue to go on. It's going to get probably pretty ugly over there. And if you go with any of the prophecies, there's going to be everybody's going to be against Israel at some point. That's pretty much the way that goes, and kind of looking that way right off the bat here. Then we got there was if you recall, a few weeks ago, there was this thing about the Palestinians protesting it on all these college campuses, and the professors of these or the heads of these colleges were asked to go to the Senate to testify about their policies against hate speech and whatnot, kind of a thing, I guess, what it boiled down to. Anyway, there was the head of Harvard, Claudine Gay, is probably a diversity hire type of one, for sure, in my opinion. She's about as dumb as a box of rocks. She suffered the fate of her not saying what she was supposed to say, I guess would be the proper way to say it. She didn't immediately uh, to speak down about the protesters and their support for the terrorist people type thing. She was supposed to say, "I back the Israeli all the way," the lines. So she didn't do that. So now she's out on her ass. I mean, not that I'm gonna cry about that either. I know liberal bleeding heart, and that, as far as I'm concerned, maybe what she said was valid to a certain point, because I mean they do have the right to protest, even if it's not what we agree with. Um, but she should have just said that instead of what she did say. So anyway, that's when she's out there. One more or less woke professor, or I mean administrator of Harvard, like a prestigious school like that, having that lady represent it was a slap in the face anyway, that institution. So goodbye, lady. And then today, this morning here, just a little bit ago, I guess, USA, we airstriked this general in Iran. There was a memorial going on for him, and I guess we'd killed him recently, or somebody killed him, and so we airstriked him. I don't know with what we airstriked him with, but took him out and 73 other people, and then I guess it wounded like another 140 people or something like that. So I'm sure that Iran's pretty pissed off about that right now. I saw some pictures on the news, and they looked like they didn't look too happy with that whole deal. Big hole in the ground where their little memorial was at. So I mean, hey, I guess if you want to go to a memorial for a piece of shit, then probably you might be looking at being killed like a piece of shit like this. I don't got a whole lot of love for the Iranians either. So I mean, they can I can take them or leave them. And if they don't want to play, they want to play rough, then I mean, I don't really trust Biden to play rough with these guys, but I mean, it's obviously somebody had the wherewithal to hit them when they had the chance to, and numbers be damned if we killed a couple more, couple more Alice snack bars, then a couple more Alice snack bars got to go. No loss. I mean, the less Alice snack bars we got, the better it is. If Biden would quit importing them to this country, that'd be even better. Just kind of close the borders up like we probably should do a while back. Now, I guess there's one last thing for this news here, just what's going on today, and we'll be looking for the fallout from this other stuff today, because it's early in the day yet, but then it's supposed to be, they've talked about it for a couple days now, everybody's got to have heard about this Epstein flight log list coming out, and what it's going to entail, who's going to be on it, and there's already been speculation that Bill Clinton's going to be on it, because we've seen pictures of him with certain people on at certain places, like they guarantee he's gonna be on it. And Prince Andrew, I guess, is probably gonna be on it too. The royals got some issues. Ricky Seville, that was hanging around them. So that's that's a given. We know how they are. Pretty much any just name of a lizard, name a lizard, and you'll probably be on that list. They're going to try to push that Donald Trump is going to be on that list too, but if you investigate it, you'll see that he only flew in country one time or maybe two times on that plane, and it was from Mar-a-Lago to a place like Boston or something like that. And once Epstein was arrested for his crimes and stuff, Donald Trump didn't have any more contact with him after that. When we know that people like Billy Boy Goat Gate, whatever his name is, he had contact with him, and maybe possibly Schumer, and possibly old Hillary Billy, and of course Bill. I mean, that's a given, and some of these other people that like I said, name a lizard person, and most likely they're going to be on that list. Well, we'll see, and they're going to be a big fight. I guess a certain late night talk show guy is crying about it, and because because somebody made a joke. I guess Aaron Rodgers made a joke about him. This late night talk show guy that just came back to work because of the writer's strike, and he never was never good anyway. One of these guys that I'm talking about, those late night talk show guys. One of those guys was a K Camel, J Camel, something like that. He's all crying because Aaron Rodgers made a joke about him being nervous about maybe being on that list. So, nobody can take a joke anymore. you're not on that list, then I wouldn't be worried about it. I understand, you know, if I get to sue somebody, if somebody makes a joke about me, whatever, you know. If I'm not on the list, and then I go, see, I'm not on the list. I ain't no, you know, little diddler squiddler, you know, plane rider to little Pushin land. You know what I mean? So that if that actually comes out and it's not redacted, that'll be pretty amazing. You know, you know how these people go. You know, everything works out. You know, they say one thing, and the reason why this list will be coming out too, you know, because they're gonna, it's distraction for some other nonsense that'll be going on the other hand. That's how that all works. If everybody's all interested in this you know, kitty thing that they're doing over here, and that list comes out, something else is going to slip under the radar over on the other side. Maybe make us forget about the million friggin' illegals that are in this country in the last couple of years here over this guy, you know, that's running the, not the guy's running the place, but, you know, whoever's running him that's running the place. You know how that is. So it's a distraction, but it'd still be interesting to see who's on the list. Like I said, I'm just, you know, I'm pretty much just going by, you pick your favorite lizard person and, you know, we'll put some money on it. We're taking bets up here, you know, can 5-to-1 odds if you're right about it. So I wouldn't, some of the guys I wouldn't even bet on. There's no doubt about it in my mind. That's when you're going to see, you know, Kevin Spacey. There's another one. He's going to be there. The Balenciaga fucking guy. Those kind of people. We know, Gates people, and, you know, there's going to be a bunch of these people. Elitist types, you know, like maybe that, what's the guy that runs Amazon, that guy, I bet you he's on there. Any of these rich guys that they can get on, you know, we know what the whole deal is, what they get on there. That's all about the blackmail, man. Get them on there. Get some pictures, get them on your thumb. Be very interesting to see those names, and then you can kind of go back and look at what they've been doing and what their policies and how they've been acting, and, you know, and so see who might be running them, who's running this whole show. Guarantee that this didn't come up. You know, this old Epstein guy didn't come up with this whole thing all on his own. There's talk of ties to other things with 3 other agencies. You know what I mean? There's, you know, and not only in this country but in other places, like that other place that we were just talking about a minute ago, that the drone strikes some people. They, you know, their secret agency there. You know, the ones that were just totally missed this whole attack on October 7th. You know, those guys. Yeah. Anyway, I guess that's the news for now. January 3rd, 2024. We'll talk to you again on the next day or so. Have a good fun, friends.